Okay, so remember that they're changing my voice and they're trying to make it so I sound bipolar. So I'm gonna try to speak slowly, but I hear a ringing in my ears. They fume me. They send people around to kind of disorient me, and there's no simple solution. I could drive somewhere else and park, but I'll still get fumed there. And driving around too much is a form of disorienting someone as well. If they drive around too much, they get disoriented. Okay. So, you know, that is what occurs. So in 2018, 19, 20, I start talking about the Greek mysteries. I do a lot of research into that, and I connect it to why they're doing this, right? So I connected to the rituals and why they're doing this, right? Dionysus being a young Zeus, um, the rape rituals, the rape stories, Zeus, Poseidon, Mars, Dionysus, okay, Hades, kidnapping Persephone. There's lots and lots, right? The rape of Europa. And I talk about a lot of these stories that are very significant and how Egyptian mythology influenced them. And Set is a deity of rape, and his counterpart is Zeus, right? He's a deity of rape, storms, chaos, brute force, jackals, hippos, deer, aardvark, boas, right? Snakes, what have you. So it's not just Apep, and it's a story for another day. So then, after the 2017 to 2019 period where I'm discussing those things, there's the 2020 where I'm wearing yellow and I have a yellow, beanie on, yellow sweater. Okay, in 2021 to 2023, I start talking about scriptures a lot more, and I start making speeches in the parks and so on and so forth. Okay, and that's continued and still, right? It's the last 4 years or so. And I'm still predicting how women respond, and that they're shunning me, and that's what's going on still. And I hand out cards and flyers and papers trying to get my message out about the War on Poverty plan, about religion. People are ignoring it. I have bumper stickers I've had on my car for years now. They're ignoring those. Various incident at the park, what people briefly try to compare me to an incel or something. I quickly prove that that's wrong, and incels blame attractive guys, and I'm tall, dark, and handsome even still. And there's other key differences as well. Okay, so they're using various tactics to change the way I look. They're fuming, they're poisoning me. My skin in some places has started to change color, right? And it looks like at times like an old white person's skin, like my legs, my forearms. And I walk around a lot with my shirt off, and the sun is sunny California, and it just turns my skin red instead of tanning it. And you can tell that it's something that chemicals and fumes and poisons have caused. But still, other people look weird. It's part of why I put a lot of these pictures in this video of a bunch of people that most people consider weird. No offense to these people, but people are acting very strange. There's lots and lots of people with their tongue out, and not all of them directly identify as rock and roll people, emos, goths, jockers, anime, manga, or whoever else might have their tongue out. These are Satanists, first and foremost, occultists, witches, right? And there's tons of them on TikTok. They're on YouTube. When I go out in Morgan Hill and San Jose, I see people like that. But the majority of people are like still transitioning into whatever the next phase of their cultures is, right? Every once in a while I see a gangster who looks a little bit more masculine than the other ones. There's a lot of people who, have skinny jeans still, have liberal outfits. They're like a liberal parody of a gang member, which is very gay washed, right? And so they're mocking to the extreme. Okay, it's important to note that they've fumed me, this whole time. Okay, the fume started being noticed, I think, around 2012, 13, somewhere like then, maybe a little later than that. The covert drugging was noticed by 2012. I remember one video in specific where I found some kind of white substance on my marijuana, and it wasn't cocaine or something. It was best described as a substance that alters behavior. Okay, that's bad for the lungs when you burn it and inhale it. And that's what they were doing. They were covertly drugging the fast food places. More than just them understanding my habits, mind you, because I ate maybe at like 10, 20 different places regularly, and then I kind of every once in a while I'd go somewhere new or something. But and then there's the grocery store. Okay, so the products in general have something wrong with them. Okay, and there's fumes. For what I gather, they go onto the surface. They go onto the packaging of the products. I don't know exactly how they do it, right? But I'm guessing that things are fumed. I see things in the news that show that they're changing the shape of clouds and stuff like this. I don't know if they're just putting it on my phone or everyone's seeing it. I hear CNN. I can't really watch the screen there. I have to alter my screen to watch it because I have an eye condition. I still have an eye condition for when they blinded me for those 3 days or so back in 2017. Okay, I have back issues. I have joint issues. I have a bunch of issues from being poisoned and fumed. It affects my speaking. It changes my speech patterns. And they have drugs and fumes and technologies and poisons and substances and materials for the purpose, that they use for the purpose of that, of changing behavior, which includes the way someone sounds. For example, when you think about a homosexual, no offense to the LGBT community, they typically sound a certain way. They might talk with a lisp, what have you. They have certain speech patterns. At times, they try to mimic those. They have a certain way that they dress, that they think, right? If they work in the corporate workplace, how they wear a suit. If they're working out, how they wear those. If they're wearing jeans and a t-shirt, if they're at the beach, if they're at the mall. They have a certain ways that you identify them, haircut, hairstyles, what have you. They try to make it so I seem like that when I'm not like that. Okay? I like to wear, and they made it so I can't. They did things in my clothes, a story for another day. I like to wear t-shirts, jeans, hooded sweaters, cool shoes, masculine shoes, Cortez, right? Nike shoes, okay? I don't wear the clothes that they wear. I don't look the way they look. If I buy a sweater, it's Hanes or something. It's Pro Club. It's not some gay company's hooded sweater, okay? And I take pride in being masculine. I take pride in being heterosexual. I take pride in being different from other people and being greater than they are. The vehicles I choose aren't gay vehicles, right? My Ford is black. Before that, my Mitsubishi Eclipse was light gray. It complemented my martial arts look and style and the clothes that I would wear. It matches in a masculine way, not a liberal way, not a conservative way. A lot of conservatives look gayish too. Okay, look at Fox News. They look like a bunch of witches and then, gay guys. Look at Bill O'Reilly. If you think about it, compare Bill O'Reilly to Lindsey Graham and gay people, you'll see that kind of Freemasons are gayish. They have that kind of way about them. Okay? You should all know that I'm right. I've never even heard anyone else talking this way about it. Some people might say there's a gay agenda or they're trying to emasculate the black man, but they don't explain, and they often look emasculated themselves. They look clownish themselves when they say that. They don't explain how pervasive it is, how common it is, how it's everywhere, how they've basically gay-washed everything on a spectrum to try to make certain whites, Jews, LGBT, and token minorities seem superior, while at the same time they have some kind of respect for me, what the evidence suggests. So at times, there are videos that I still look better than everyone else in. And there's a lot of videos where I just look gay and weird and sickly. A lot of occultists, typically like vampire occultists, they look pale. They try to make it so I look pale and sickly. They try to make it so I look Jewish and nerdy. Look at the different types of Jews, the lawyers, the jewelers, the software engineers, the political activists. Look at the liberal Jews especially. They try to make it so I look like them. A lot of them have a brain disorder. No disrespect to the ladies and gentlemen of the Jewish community, but a lot of you look like you have a brain disorder, and it's not the end of the world. Just because you're the same race, doesn't mean you should try to cover it up. Okay? It's not the end of the world. Life is short. You got to try to be as moral as you can. And to each his own. You shouldn't try to get me to settle so you think that you look better. You don't look good. It's a concentration camp effect. If someone beats their wife or their kids, do they look good? A bunch of cops beat up an activist. Do they say, hey, he looks beat up and we look professional? No, it makes you look like a fucking idiot. This hasn't worked for you. Look at the timeline. When I look at the timeline, I see that you people have disgraced yourself to the extreme, and I'm talking sense. You people on the news and your politicians and your social media sites, everywhere you see someone talk about serious things that matter, the churches, the mosques, the synagogues, you're not talking sense. I'm talking sense. And you can tell that I'm sabotaged. Some guy just drove by with a Freemason kind of symbol on his back of his vehicle, right? But anyway, you can tell that I'm sabotaged and that I'm manning up, 10 toes down as a man, making these videos by myself for the most part. certainly in the last 7 years. Why everyone else is going out like some kind of emasculated cartoon character. And you know that I'm going to make that distinction. So why mess around? So when you look at the timeline, you look at part 1, look at part 2 of this, just make it 2 parts. You see that I'm right. It's in, Zeus was the core cultural deity of Western culture, and he still is, right? That's why America uses the eagle of Rome, the eagle of Zeus. He still is. Jupiter, Set, Baal, they're all forms of Zeus worshipped in different places. And it starts in Africa. It's a rape cult deity, storms, chaos. That is the center. Surfers at times rape people, skaters, rockers, jocks, populars, fraternities. It's pervasive. They get that from Zeus's rape by deception, where he changes form. Write this down. That's why it's called the rape of Europa. It's the rape of Europe. It's the formula for the rape of Europe. And then they colonize the world and they rape people and they try to, they're deities of Dike and Lady Justice. They're deities of social order, and their sense of justice is immoral. It's moral and not moral. Okay? It's more light, more instead of morality. It's more how they see it. Mentally they're light. Hell and Hellenistic culture. Look up Greek, Hellenistic culture. The deme, the demos, the people, the demons, the daimons, which D-A-I-M-O-N, they were the intermediaries between the gods and people, and they're basically demons. They act like they're not demons, but they are. They act like their gods and goddesses aren't demons, but they are. They are people who are in submission to the rape called spirit of Zeus. Pan means all the Greco-Roman deities, and Pan is the devil on the tarot card. It doesn't take a genius to see that I'm right. If when you finish this, if you think that I'm crazy or wrong, you're crazy. If when you finish this, if you think that their philosophy is greater or equal to mine, you've lost your fucking marbles. If you think that raping kids, being in submission to Zeus when you rape Ganymede, he is his choir boy, his altar boy, his cupbearer, okay? If you think that a culture that's centered around child molestation and rape by deception and doing stupid psycho circus prank bitch shit is equal or superior to universal pinpointed moral precision in the top martial arts ever, you're lost your fucking mind.